Jana Podkivarnog, Sziasztok. Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching me and welcome to Pécsvárad. Üdvözlök Pécsvárad. Pécsvárad is a town in southern Hungary. It's just on the edge of the Mecsek Hills, not too far away from Pécs, Hungary's fifth largest city. I'm just standing here by the Parish Church, as you can see. I've tried to go in, but unfortunately it's closed. But what we are going to go and visit, because it's just round here, thank you very much, is the castle, Pécsvárad Castle, which is, as well as a castle, it was also a fortified monastery. It was the second Benedictine monastery in Hungary. So it's not a huge site. Although it looks quite big and imposing from here, it is actually fairly small. So we're going to go and have a wander around. I'll show you what you can see. So if you look over there, the rest of the town is down there. We're up on the hill above the town. So here's the front of the castle. That door looks as though it's closed, but there's another door that is open. So we're going to go through there. There's I think I'll just show you this before we go in. Actually, this looks like this probably was a drawbridge once. If you look from the castle, there's a drawbridge there, and just there is the remains of another tower. So we'll go round, we'll go in, and I'll show you what there is to see of the castle and what's left of the monastery. So this church here, this isn't anything to do with the monastery. It's a usual Baroque Austro-Hungarian church, which just happens to be across the road from the castle. So we're going in now. See what there is inside once we get indoors. So here we are, we just come into the castle. Now it appears on that side to be a fairly modern looking building, which I believe is probably a hotel. We'll walk round. Just there is the former cloisters of the monastery. Now if we go around here, this is possibly the most interesting part. This is a section that's been rebuilt as in the Austro-Hungarian style, and in there is one of the remaining churches. That's a museum which I'm going to go in after filming this video. So I'm just taking you round the ruins of the monastery itself now. So this was the second Benedictine monastery in Hungary. It eventually was lost when the Turks, the Ottoman Empire, invaded. Apparently they didn't fight, they just blew up the castle and fled. So a bit of a sad ending. I've now stepped into the church. There's not much left, but this, believe it or not, is the church. So if you can imagine a big Gothic church, which I'm currently walking up the nave of towards the chancel, so you can just imagine above me being a big vaulted ceiling, and coming to here is where you'd have gone up towards the high altar. So, and then you get little side chapels like this, so you can just sort of imagine a smaller chapel here, perhaps another altar, chapel, vaulted roof above us, coming back out here into the main church. And here I believe so there'd have been sort of Gothic windows there, and there, and then there'd have been, you know, a vaulted ceiling in the middle, and the high altar would have been possibly somewhere there. So it gives you an idea of what this would have looked like when it was the Abbey Church. Now over there, that rather not particularly attractive, I must say, looking modern building is a modern banqueting hall. Beneath it was the monks' cells. They've decided to build this modern building there, which personally I think is a bit ugly, but then I suppose it gives them somewhere they can hold outdoor events. So I'm going to show you the final thing that's worth seeing. So it's not a huge castle, but it's, if you're in Pécsvárad, then you know it's worth walking up the hill to see it. So that is what's a museum, which I'm going to go in after filming this video. So I'm going to go down these steps. It's a bit odd, it's all sort of half building site, half museum. It's a bit strange. I get the impression you don't get that many tourists here. It's, yeah, I don't know, I seem to be the only visitor here. There's a few other people walking around. It's almost a bit like coming to a castle after the world's ended. It's really quite a strange place. I'm going to go up here now where this takes us up. We're going to get a view of the site. So, keep going. So here we are, we've got to the top of the walls. So looking out you can see the ruins of the monastery and the more modern buildings behind. The Hungarian flag flying nicely above that tower. If we go out here, because we're right on the edge of the town, you can see the surrounding countryside. I'm going to walk to the end of this section of wall. So walking along here, see what we can see over there. If you look out over there, see the edge of the town. It's more like a country village, this part of the town. But if we go to this end of, it's a bit strange because you can come along here and there's this bit of fence that's been put in because there's steps going down, but they seem to go to nowhere. So it looks like you probably could come up here once, but you can't anymore. So stand here looking out across see the Abbey Church and the rest of the ruins, and down there is the town centre, and I can just make it out. One of the buildings down there is the railway station. Unfortunately the railway from Page to Pécsvárad closed in 2009. It did carry on beyond there to a very attractive town called Boya, which I'm not sure when that section closed, but Page to Pécsvárad closed in 2009, which is really a shame because you can't see because of the mist, but there's some quite higher Metchek hills that way, so it was quite a scenic railway. I never had the chance to travel on it, so I came to Pécsvárad today on the bus from Page, but maybe one day be able to come here on the train again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and what I'll do when I go in the museum, I'll post some pictures. I won't record a video in the museum, I'll post some pictures and they'll be on the page about half an hour after this video is published. So thank you very much for watching from Pécsvárad. Goodbye. Viszontlátásra.